So I started Slice of Life about 1.5 years ago. And the first time I posted was about January 1st or 2nd of 2024. And what I did was I posted a short about making a s'mores pizza. Now, the reason I did that was because I was trying to see how far I could push the boundaries of pizza making. I made this pizza, and this is the first time that I actually made something click where I'm like, you know what? If I just think outside of the box far enough to where I can make something that's so unique, but at the same time delicious, then I might be onto something here. So I decided I'd do it in a long form fashion and actually teach you guys how to do it. So let's get started. And now obviously the first thing that we need to do is gather our ingredients. So what we're gonna do is, obviously we need dough. We're gonna do that later. We're gonna grab marshmallows, graham crackers. I got Hershey's chocolate and semi-sweet chocolate. Now, obviously these are the 3 ingredients that you need for s'mores. So that's kind of a basic thing. But in addition, we're also gonna use vanilla extract, marshmallow fluff, and some ground cinnamon. And I'm just now seeing the Hershey's syrup, so we're gonna use that too. But the next task at hand is that we gotta actually make the base for this pizza. And in order to do that, we need the right measurements. So next, we're gonna want about 3.5 ounces each of the Hershey's chocolate and then the semi-sweet. So what I'm doing now is I'm basically just gonna break up the Hershey's chocolate and just pile it into a bowl. Now you can obviously do your measurements if you need to with like a scale or something like that. I'm just gonna eyeball it because at this far into the game, I can kind of eyeball the different measurements. But either way, I would probably recommend just measuring it out. Not that it's a big deal, but I'm just gonna shut up, whatever. Now for the base, we're gonna need about 12 ounces of milk. So I went ahead and got that portioned out, and we're just gonna leave it right there for a second. So next I've got a pot of water that's on the stove, and I'm gonna top it with a bowl like this. If you've ever been to a fondue restaurant, you probably get the idea of what we're doing here. We're basically gonna be melting our chocolate, which is our base, inside of the bowl. And by doing that, we're gonna use the steam to heat it up. So we'll light this so we can get it to steam. And this milk, what I'm doing right now is I'm basically just gonna warm it. It's basically designed just to be able to loosen up that chocolate so it's not too thick on the pizza. So we've got our steam building up inside the bowl, which means that the bowl is gonna be hot enough. We got our milk here. So let's go ahead and pour in our chocolate so that way we can get this melted. We're gonna add a shot of vanilla extract to add a little bit of flavor in there. So next we'll just stir this up. And this will be a good time to add our milk. And we're gonna do it in increments so that way we can really get it to mix in well and not clump up. So we're just gonna mix this up until we get a nice thickness that we want. And we're just looking for it to be consistent. Then we'll let that sit there for a second. And now that we've got our base complete, the next task at hand is we're gonna assemble this pizza. So I've got an 8-ounce dough here, and we're gonna lightly flour it. You don't wanna do too much because the more flour you have, the less flavor you'll get. So we just want it to be enough to be able to let it slide through our hands while we're stretching it. So we'll press out the crust, and then we'll form our crust, and then stretch it out as we normally would, and then give it a toss, and then we'll slap it on the peel. So now we've got our dough and we've got our base. So we're gonna pour this over top. I wish you guys could smell this through camera because oh my God. And we'll smear this across. Beautiful. And then next we're gonna send it into the oven just like this. Let it par bake just a little bit, and then afterwards, we're gonna take it out and add more ingredients on top. And then once we got a par bake on it, we're gonna take this out because we gotta add the rest of the toppings, which is obviously gonna include some marshmallows. That's a no-brainer. And then we're gonna crush up some graham crackers and we're gonna put that on top as well. And then we're gonna stick a screen under it so that way it doesn't burn on the bottom, and we're gonna put it back in the oven. And if you guys are liking the video so far, make sure you like, subscribe, turn post notifications on so you never miss a video, because we're gonna be making videos every single week from here on out. And I hope to see you guys in every single one. Also, make sure you guys leave a comment of what pizza you guys wanna see me do, because I'm gonna read all my comments and you might end up in a video. So this part of the process goes very fast because the marshmallow starts to brown. So you wanna make sure that you get the marshmallows on there at the perfect time, just before the crust is about to start turning brown. Now with this recipe, the timing is everything, right? We're cooking the pizza at 450 degrees. So you wanna make sure you par bake the dough just enough for you to be able to take it out, put the marshmallows on top, put it back in, so that way by the time the pizza's done, the marshmallow is golden brown. So what I recommend is you keep an eye on it, and once it looks like it's about halfway of being cooked, then take it out and put your marshmallows on top. And this is exactly why. I left just enough time for me to be able to do the last touches of this pizza, which is going to be a marshmallow glob. We're gonna brush some melted butter along the sides of the crust, and then we're gonna put some ground cinnamon along the edge of the crust. And then we'll finish with our chocolate drizzle. And just like that, we are finished. All right, this is really hot. Buon appetito. This tastes just like s'mores. You have an even distribution of chocolate in the marshmallow. You got the graham crackers crushed up on top. This is very accurate. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Until next time, my name is Anthony Camardo, Slice of Life. See you guys on the next one. Goodbye.